Hello everybody, welcome back. It is Connor. We're back here with your three things we learned after yesterday's, that feels like a defeat, doesn't it? Loss to, I've said loss again, haven't I? Draw. This is how much it feels like a loss. A burden that has been put upon us from yesterday. A draw to Coventry City, to the Sky Blues at home. 1-1 in a game where, listen, Leeds just were not good enough from moment one, and unfortunately, we had a bang average Coventry side come to Ellen Road and get a point. A really fantastic ball in for Coventry's equaliser. And listen, I don't put the blame solely on Archie and even Strauk. Listen, there's for me, it's just a quality ball in, but at the same time, does your keeper come and claim that? For me, yeah. Listen, you can go on about these agendas and all this sort of stuff. I've got absolutely no agenda towards Ilan Meslier. But once again, it's a save where he's behind his line. But also it's a save that's not in the corner. But also I'm expecting my keeper to come and claim that, he's all this handling talk about him coming out and getting better and punching this and punching that. Why is he not coming out and punching that? Or just handling that? No idea. The guy's 6'7". So I expect him to do it for that one. But let's listen. Leeds got the goal, of course. Nice little interchange in Rutter and Somerville, and Leeds were just frustrated throughout the entire game. Not by Coventry as such, but by how narrow it was and how there was just a lack of ingenuity, innovativeness, creativity, as I always say. So no good whatsoever. But what did we learn from yesterday? Well, the number one thing that we learned was that Daniel Farke will. It's another piece of evidence that he is bad with rotation, and we've seen it throughout the season. Really, there's no real stages where you can look at Daniel Farke's tenure so far at Leeds and go, actually, he's got those substitutions right. There might be a one-off, 100%, or maybe a two-off, but the majority of the time he's got it wrong in my times for the time that he's given the subs, and actually when he's brought them on, when you actually look at the game state and where we are in that game, and the effectiveness of the substitutions as well. So I think his rotation is something as a manager that he needs to get a lot better with. The problem is he's got one of the most high-pressure jobs in English football at his disposal right now, and he's having to learn on the job. And he's ruthless at the minute. He brought Joe Gelhardt on in the 86th minute. Joel Perot, I thought Perot should have come off a lot earlier for maybe Willie Gnonto at half-time. If you didn't want to do that, bring Gnonto on for Dan James. This is what everybody was saying. Everybody's saying in the chat, everybody's saying online, so it's not just a me thing, but that's what you do. And he's once again not got his rotations right, not got his subs right, and we've said that for a large amount of games now. He's simply not giving substitutions the time to be able to get into the game at all. And then he'll bring like an additional sub on with about 2 to 3 minutes to go in the attacking third, and it just gives us nothing. He needs to get that better. So that's one thing that we've learned. Another thing that we've learned is that Leeds are giving up moments too much, and we're getting punished. We're getting punished in too many moments. I hark back yesterday to Huddersfield, completely not in the game whatsoever. Get a goal. Plymouth, not in the game whatsoever. Get a goal. Middlesbrough, for large phases, weren't in the game. Obviously, they got 2 goals. The latter goal coming out of nowhere, really. And obviously, the game yesterday, it's just not good enough. The concentration, the focus needs to be a lot better when we're pressed on and, when we're transitioned on in particular. And Leeds, just as a collective, need to be on it a little bit more. That's how I put it, really, at this moment in time. We need to be on it much more than what we are at this moment in time. And I think it's hurting us. It's hurting us big time. So, yeah, I think the decisiveness, the incisiveness as well of our passing needs to be a lot better, needs to be a lot crisper, and it's not. We're slowing things down at the minute. We're very, very predictable. We're easy to play against. And the problem is, I think this leads into point 3, teams are figuring out Leeds, which is interesting. We've got the Avengers up front, haven't we? When it comes to quality at this level. But teams are figuring out, in my opinion, how to nullify them. And it's by simply sitting deep. Pressing at phases, if you feel competent, but a lot of it is just sitting deep. Where teams maybe earlier on thought they fancied the chances against us and they get picked off a little bit. But now teams are sitting deep, and that's nullifying the likes of Somerville. It's nullifying our attacking threats. and it's becoming a big problem. And we saw that again yesterday with Coventry, where they came with a 3-4-2-1 formation, which essentially was everyone bar Sakamoto and Sims behind the ball. And as we saw with the Bielsa season, many times Leeds were frustrated. The difference was in that system, we were able to utilise a lot more weapons. The fullbacks would get goals. The midfielders would get goals. We had a Cam who was orchestrating, and that team wasn't even as good as this one, but I think it was more balanced, much more balanced. And the cry out for options now for January is harder than ever. It really is. Louder, I should say, than ever. A Cam is just essential, absolutely essential. Just someone who can give us a little bit of guile, a little bit of cuteness in those areas, come up with a wonder goal, but also at the same time, a nice threaded ball. Your pro isn't that. He's not a 10. He's not even a 9, so I don't know what he is. We've got 2 9.5s there. We need a left back. I'd like to see us utilise a little bit of overlaps from the fullbacks. Archie's not overlapping. Jed overlaps every now and again, and I'd like to see an instruction there to see them do that more often. Because we saw the success that had before in the Championship. Scripted movements, but teams couldn't keep up with us, and we've got better players now. I feel that with the better players now, we are being less coached, obviously, than what we were under Bielsa, and that's difficult to watch because it's almost like, how have we got a better team now? Admittedly, maybe a lack of balance than what it once was previously in the Championship, but it's difficult with the players that we've got not being able to get the best out of them, in my opinion, and the best out of that is with system and tactical ideas and plans and pragmatism. So we're feeling the strain now, and we're feeling the squeeze. I thought Archie looked tired yesterday, but a number 9, a Cam, and a left back is so big. And if they're not able to do all 3, at least do 2 out of the 3, and it might just give us enough for the end of the season. But it was interesting in the comment section below yesterday. There's a lot of people just resigned to the playoffs now, and they were almost saying, "Look, Connor, be happy. We're still in with a shout, even if we're in the playoffs," which I found really interesting because it's almost a bit of a switch in what people's headspace is. You know, it's fascinating that now the tide has turned a little bit, and people are thinking, "Well, hold on a minute. You know, you can't be negative, you can't be pessimistic, you can't be critical if we're still in with a shout," and that's fair enough. I'm still wanting us, obviously, I know people who are talking about playoffs are still wanting it as well, but I'm still needing Leeds, in my opinion, to get to that automatics. I do not want to get into a potential playoff race with West Bromwich Albion, Southampton, Sunderland, and whoever else it may be you want to throw in there. I do not want to get into a playoff race with that. I think it's going to be a really tough one. I need Leeds to get automatically promoted, and we're making hard work of it at this moment in time with opportunities which are given to us, which we've seen with Ipswich. I mean, when Leicester have lost, you know, I know it's been rare, but we need to really start to look at ourselves. There's too much glancing down south at Ipswich. Too much glancing when we need to get our house in order, because we've seen a couple of occasions this season where Leeds United have had a massive opportunity, and we've flunked it, and that's a big problem. So guys, I'm interested to know what you guys think on this 3 things. Did you learn anything yesterday? We did a player ratings on the Patreon. We'll be doing podcasts throughout the week on the Patreon as well. So go over there, check that out. Let me know exactly what you think in the comment section below. Are you catastrophizing right now? What are your thoughts on Daniel Farke? What on earth do we do in January? Would you do different things to what I'm suggesting? Guys, do us a favour, please make sure, as always, you like, comment, and subscribe on the channel and the video, and really appreciate your support as always. Enjoy your Sunday. I'll see you in a bit.